Hello everyone, I am back today to tell you a bit about my sheet mask project pan series. So this is what I've been using. Some of these aren't even sheet masks, but I wanted to tell you about them anyway. Look, let's get that out of the way really quickly. I have been trying to use up little sachets of things. So I've sort of, as I have been holding these aside in my bathroom, it's kind of given me a bit of an incentive to open up these little sachets that I've had kicking around, which you get in like orders, like you order stuff online and they just give you all these sort of samples. There's nothing really to stand out to talk about them, but I just wanted to mention that I've been using them, which is good. Now I have not made the same amount of progress as I had in January. I think January I used up quite a lot of masks and I was doing really, really well. I think in February, I don't know what it was, but the first week of February or week and a half, I didn't even use any masks. I didn't forget. It was just that I had a lot on and I just didn't really have the time to do it and really focus on it. So it's only been the last few weeks of Feb that I have really started dedicating time to using these masks. And I've used a few, but it's not outstanding. I think it's still tracking along the path of what I want to do in order to use up all my masks this year. And just a refresher, I know I didn't really show you this, but this is my other box of stuff. So this is not the full face masks. They've got things like eye masks and lip masks and pimple masks. I also discovered these in my other bathroom. These are the COSRX pimple patches, and there's 18 of them. I used one and I really like it. So these are really good because they're quite undetectable. I had it under my makeup and I sort of forgot that I was even wearing it. So these are nice and undetectable. So I think I didn't count these in my total. So I'm gonna have to add this to the total, which is unfortunate. But these are good. I like that I've got them and I use them. And this is my face sheet mask tub. So that's what I'm working with. That's what I'm trying to get through this year. So it's quite the task. But the things I've used up, so firstly, I used up the bubble mask. This is the Sika Bubble Sparkling Booster. I used up a couple of these last month. Now these, one sachet, I can use it twice. So I use half and then hold on to it. I don't really see much benefit to them. I'm using them because I have a pack and it's a pack of 10. I think I'm down to 6, I think. But yeah, I just feel like this bubble mask, I don't really see any benefit to it. So I'm just using it for the sake of using it. And it's getting a little bit like, I can't be bothered. I did also use a couple of these Vice Reverser pimple patches. These are massive. Now I had like a breakout on my, like just under my lip. I think it was hormonal. And I went to go use one of these. These are massive. It was almost like a joke. So I put it on and it was huge. Whereas the other ones, I'll show you the difference in size. All right, I actually accidentally peeled one of these off. So let's say we've used 2 of them. This is a micro needling one. So it's got tiny little needles and it does penetrate the skin, but it's so inconvenient to use. This is like not good. I'd be using it just for the sake of using it. These are much better. I don't know if they're super effective, either of them. I don't know if they worked really well, but yeah, this is just more convenient to use. Realistically, the only time I'm going to use this last one is if I've got like a breakout on my body. Sometimes if I'm exercising a bit or it's hot and sweaty and my bra sort of rubs, it might sort of cause a bit of a breakout, and I might put one on there, but it'd be using it to use it up. Definitely if I was to repurchase any, it'd be like the much smaller sort of basic ones, not the fancy micro needling ones. I did use a few eye patches. So I used one by Skin Iceland. I really liked that. It was the Hydro Cool Firming Eye Gels. These were nice and cooling. I do think they sort of help at reducing puffiness and whatnot. So that was really nice. I talked about the BioEffect eye mask last month. This is like an eye mask you put on top of a serum. So you get a little tiny serum in the pack. And you just sort of put that on. It was fine. And then I've got the Patchology Flash Patch Rejuvenating Gel Eye Gels. And these again, like that jelly sort of little sheet of jelly that you put on, nice and cooling, nice and sort of de-puffing. I quite like them. They were all quite nice. I only used 5 sheet masks. Now, one of them I just used on my chest, which was the Nooks white one. This is very old and I was like, oh, it's so old that I'm just gonna put on my chest. So that was just used for the sake of using it up. My favorite masks of the month by far were by Tony Moly. These were great. So I've got one that has hyaluronic acid, so the blue one, and one that has vitamin C. These were so good. And what made these really good was they just sat on the face so perfectly. It's like fits like a glove. You put it on, it smooths on and clings to the face and really holds in that moisture and really delivers that serum. And they were so easy to use. You can literally leave this on for like 45 minutes while you're doing the housework, and it might lift a little bit on here, but otherwise it was so comfortable and so good to use. So these ones I would totally repurchase. I thought these were fantastic. I also quite liked this, is it Sooae? Sooae, that brand. Anyway, this is the Honey Propolis Essential Mask. This was quite nice as well. It did sit really nicely. It had a nice amount of serum on it, and it was one of those ones that you could comfortably wear for a while. I had it on while I was reading in bed. It was very nice, so I like that. Not as much as the Tony Moly ones, but definitely my second favorite of the month. This Indeed Labs one was not good. This was the Hydroluron Moisture Boosting Mask. Now this might just be the case that this was old, but it was not good. I got some notes. So it fits really, really badly. And it's one of those masks that you sort of have to recline when you're using it. Otherwise, if you sit up straight, it just falls off your face. It had that sort of gel, sort of hyaluronic acid sort of consistency. So a little bit like a gel serum. So it didn't drip. It was nice and hydrating, but it was just not a very convenient mask. And I wouldn't buy that again, for sure. And the last thing was I was going to use these Lonvitalite eye patches, but I went to go take them out. They were dry. I couldn't even get them out. They were just like dry and just like, yeah, dry jelly. So that is just gone. So technically I've used 10 sort of mask products, whether it's a bubble mask, whether it's eye masks, sheet masks, whatever. And then I used 3 pimple patches plus the one that I just buggered up then, so 4 pimple patches. Now that is good. That's adding, like, we're subtracting from the total. So when I first started this project, I had 105 masks. After last month, it went down to 89 because I used 16 masks. Now technically I've used 14 masks. The pimple patches are a little bit of a cheat, but it is what it is. But here's the kicker. I got a bunch of Tony Moly lip products in the mail to review, and they threw in some sheet masks, which I'm not mad about, because what did I say? My favorite ones of the month by far were the Tony Moly ones. So I'm not mad that I've got some more, and these are fresh. It's actually quite nice to be able to use fresh masks that haven't been sitting in a cupboard for 2 years. But it means I'm adding 4 face masks to my stash, plus the discovery of that pack of pimple patches. So 18 patches, but I've used up 2. That means actually overall I am behind this month. I'm adding more masks than I'm actually using up. So yeah, it is what it is. I could have just not included the pimple patches and been like, they weren't a thing. I didn't include those at the start, so they're gone. But because I actually like using them, I'm like, I actually want to include them. So this month we're adding to the total, but it is what it is. I did mention in my last video that I am going to be taking a bit of a month off this channel just because things are getting hectic and I feel like I'm a bit overwhelmed. So I'm not going to do a check-in with this project until probably the start of May. So hopefully by then I would have got the total back down. So we're making better progress, but we'll find out then if that's the case. So thank you so much for watching, and a big thank you to my members for supporting my channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.